Well, welcome back after you've watched that amazing video, which, like I said, I was plagued with technical difficulties. The bits you didn't see were taking the drain plug out. I think you can probably imagine that is not that difficult. It's a 17mm bolt on this. This is the 2.9 diesel KIA Sedona. The engine's used in a lot of cars. Took that out fine. The washer was alright, luckily. The filter was stuck solid. As for doing it with my hands, couldn't do it. I might have been able to do it one day in the past, but I couldn't do it this time. So I looked in my little plastic box of tools and I couldn't find my large grips. Christ knows where they've gone, because sometimes you can get on them with grips. But the filter may have been a bigger diameter than that anyway. So what I found was a G-clamp. And I got just enough room to pop it up like that, which is probably about that wide. Wind it up nice and tight, and then I use that as a lever to undo it. Work to treat. So if you don't have all the tools, that you will have a G-clamp of some description. That one worked to treat. If you don't want to smack a screwdriver into it, which I didn't want to do, this didn't make more mess than anything else would have made, which was a priority at the time. Little tip there. Useful tools. You don't have to use the right tools for the job always. You can get away with something else, and I got away with that. The air filter change you watched, that was horrendously dirty, the old one. Don't look like it'd been changed for a while. That was dead easy, apart from the fact I dropped a bolt down, but I recovered that today and I've popped it back in. It was sitting on top of the gearbox. That job easy. The fuel filter was next job and the last job, other than filling in full of oil. That I had to remove two 12mm head bolts that held the bracket, and the bracket was just a circular bracket which clamped the filter, which was a round filter with three inputs, an inlet, an outlet, and another one, a mystery one, which I think may come back from the return from the injectors. They pop off with a little plate. You have to squeeze or get two screwdrivers in and loik it up, and then they pop back on just like clip. Make sure they are clipped all the way down, and you can't pull them back up without squeezing otherwise they will pop off with the fuel pressure. So I got that out, and this car, I got it out and I thought, what's stopping it? It wouldn't come out. I looked down and it's got what I can only imagine is a water sensor at the bottom of the filter. The new one came with a drain, which they normally have for diesels, because in a lot of countries you get a lot of water in with the diesel. So you would drain the filter, open it up, drain a bit of oil out, water out, which sits at the bottom, and then shut it up again. This one had a sensor, so it was connected with a wire. So I had to hold the sensor and unscrew the fuel filter. which of course then the fuel went everywhere. I don't really know how you can get around that. So everything smells of diesel today, including me. I think I still smell of it, even though I've showered. New filter, put it back on, clamp, 2 bolts, back on, easy. It's easy jobs. What appears to be the most difficult job when doing something like this is filming. Which hopefully the new phone will help me. It ain't going to cut out, is it? It's not a bad phone. It's not an expensive phone. It's only £139 new Motorola G30. If you know anything about phones. It's got 3 cameras on the back, or 3 lenses, which is wide, normal one, and a macro. I'll only want the normal one for most of the stuff. But if I decide to go exploring or hiking and want a panoramic view, I can do that. The chances of that happening are pretty slim. Getting to the car is a chore. It was today anyway. Christ, I just ache everywhere. So, my advice to you, particularly if you're a little bit crippled like I am, is to plan it a little bit better. Hopefully you won't have the job of filming as well. You'll just want to do it as a job. I mean, I say what I saved on the engine service, if I'd taken it to a garage, it would have cost me, what, another 150 quid maybe in labour. And therefore I'm still up on buying a phone for 139. That's why I've got to look at it. The only thing I haven't got is any decent footage for you chaps. But it's not all change at the end of the day. You should be able to do that even if you are incapacitated. I mean, I was scrabbling around on the floor on my little bit of carpet. I think that's what's done me in. But I tried to limit the amount of times I got up and down. But standing, I can't stand standing for more than 10-15 minutes. Even the drill chuck, the second video where I was standing at a workbench, even that did me in for a couple of days. It also happened to be on a week where I was doing other stuff which didn't help. So regardless, I hope you found it slightly interesting. If not interesting, you think to yourself, well, I might have a go at that. Nothing went wrong. The car runs lovely now. And like I said, with any diesel, with petrols, you don't really notice. If it's running all right before, you don't notice too much when you do a service, engine service. With diesels, you really do. Yeah, by the look of the air filter, that was choking it, stopping the airflow to the engine. The oil itself helps because you get better compression. And the fuel filter, well, I just changed that because you never know if they're blocked or not because you can't see them. They're just a canister. And I wasn't experiencing any problems, but it's just as well to change it. It came in a kit. I ordered it on eBay where I got the oil filter, air filter and fuel filter. And luckily I got the right one. So I think that's all I've got to share with you. And I will do my best with a new phone to record everything. But it's bloody difficult. You don't think it could be difficult? Mind you, if you're subscribed, I may get to the stage of having a cameraman, which a lot of the YouTubers have, and an editor. I'd probably still want to edit, but I could do with a cameraman sometimes. But maybe not with a new phone. Maybe I'll do that myself. It'll be fine. I'm quite happy doing things myself, because when you pay someone else, it never seems to go right. I know there are people out there who do a good job, but I've always done everything myself. Don't matter what it is, whether it's on a house, car, electrical stuff, everything. I always do it myself. Plumbing, always do it myself. Because if you let someone else involved and they haven't got the right, well, some of them don't even have the right knowledge and skills. Think, why the hell are you doing this job? And computer programming, which is what I do for a living, is no better. You still get numpties who don't know a bloody thing, and they're just done. And it's horrendous. That is why I do everything myself. The problem is, after having a stroke and my knees are gone, I struggle like hell. But sometimes I think it's worth struggling a little bit, because in the end you have accomplished something which, although you could have done before easily, not that easy now, and you still accomplished it. So I've got an added element involved which wasn't there before. I mean, I'm not going to do daft things like I'll repair a roof. I'm going to get on the ladder. You won't see that unless you want to see that. But I've got a feeling the ambulance and fire brigade are going to get fed up with me, because it won't go well. But little stuff like changing the oil on your car, repairing computers, electrical tools, stuff like that, you can do. I can do it. Anyone should be able to do it, shouldn't they? So have a go. You save yourself a packet. I have on the oil change. I've spent it straight away on a new blooming phone, but at least I haven't got to find, the money was saved by not paying someone to do the engine service. So a bonus, really. Not a bonus viewing footage, but right, I shall say, with a little remote, cheerio.